वीडियो ऑन है क्या?
हाँ
तो बाद में बात करते हैं, ठीक है।
Welcome back to Chai Show. This is Harsshh. This is Kanav.
Hi.
So Trupti Waghamare said she wants Kanav back, and that's why I had to get Kanav back.
And thanks.
Trupti, thank you,
I
Trupti.
really love that comment. जान डाल दी मेरे में यार उसने. So for you, Trupti.
This one is for you. Actually, this one's for us because this one is very.
Hey, don't tell me. ठीक है.
Okay.
Just show me the video, yaar. I just want to react in a very kind of a way.
No, you won't react that way. This might get you a bit down.
ठीक है. Thanks for letting me know this.
Yeah, I want you to know this because I don't want you to feel, oh my god, I'm so depressed. This might be like that.
चला.
This video is called To This Day Project. I have seen this video a lot of times before. And I got in touch with this video in particular when I myself was down. And
as in like down and out in life.
yeah. But you wanted to talk on mature content. So this, I personally like this video.
Earthquake हो गया, tsunami हो गया. There are so many natural disasters happening in the world. Political events that are just shaking the world. Trump अभी president बन गया है, by the way.
उससे तेरे लाइफ में क्या फर्क पड़ने वाला है?
मेरी लाइफ में क्या फर्क पड़ने वाला है? मेरे वीजा पे फर्क पड़ेगा उसका यार.
डिप्रेशन के बारे में जानकर तेरी लाइफ में थोड़ा ज्यादा बेटर फर्क पड़ेगा. So let's watch this video.
When I was a kid, I used to think that pork chops and karate chops were the same thing. I thought they were both pork chops. And because my grandmother thought it was cute, and because they were my favorite, she let me keep doing it. Not really a big deal. One day, before I realized fat kids are not designed to climb trees, I fell out of a tree and bruised the right side of my body. I didn't want to tell my grandmother about it because I was scared I'd get in trouble for playing somewhere I shouldn't have been. A few days later, the gym teacher noticed the bruise and I got sent to the principal's office. From there, I was sent to another small room with a really nice lady who asked me all kinds of questions about my life at home. I saw no reason to lie. As far as I was concerned, life was pretty good. I told her whenever I'm sad, my grandmother gives me karate chops. This led to a full-scale investigation, and I was removed from the house for 3 days until they finally decided to ask how I got the bruises. News of this silly little story quickly spread through the school, and I earned my first nickname, Pork Chop. To this day, I hate pork chops. I'm not the only kid who grew up this way. Surrounded by people who used to say that rhyme about sticks and stones. As if broken bones hurt more than the names we got called, and we got called them all. So we grew up believing no one would ever fall in love with us. That we'd be lonely forever. That we'd never meet someone to make us feel like the sun was something they built for us in their tool shed. So broken heartstrings bled the blues as we tried to empty ourselves so we would feel nothing. Don't tell me that hurts less than a broken bone. That an ingrown life is something surgeons can cut away. That there's no way for it to metastasize, it does. She was 8 years old. Our first day of grade 3 when she got called ugly. We both got moved to the back of class so we would stop getting bombarded by spitballs. But the school halls were a battleground where we found ourselves outnumbered day after wretched day. We used to stay inside for recess because outside was worse. Outside we'd have to rehearse running away or learn to stay still like statues, giving no clues that we were there in grade 5. They taped a sign to the front of her desk that read, "Beware of dog." To this day, despite a loving husband, she doesn't think she's beautiful. Because of a birthmark that takes up a little less than half her face. Kids used to say she looks like a wrong answer that someone tried to erase but couldn't quite get the job done. And they'll never understand that she's raising 2 kids whose definition of beauty begins with the word mom. Because they see her heart before they see her skin. Because she's only ever always been amazing. He was a broken branch grafted onto a different family tree. Adopted. Not because his parents opted for a different destiny. He was 3 when it became a mixed drink of 1 part left alone and 2 parts tragedy. Started therapy in 8th grade. Had a personality made up of tests and pills. Lived like the uphills were mountains and the downhills were cliffs. 4/5 suicidal, a tidal wave of antidepressants, and an adolescence being called pauper. 1 part because of the pills, 99 parts because of the cruelty. He tried to kill himself in grade 10 when a kid who could still go home to mom and dad had the audacity to tell him, get over it. As if depression is something that can be remedied by any of the contents found in a first aid kit. To this day, he is a stick of TNT lit from both ends. Could describe to you in detail the way the sky bends in the moments before it's about to fall. And despite an army of friends who all call him an inspiration, he remains a conversation piece between people who can't understand. Sometimes being drug-free has less to do with addiction and more to do with sanity. We weren't the only kids who grew up this way. To this day, kids are still being called names. The classics were hey stupid, hey spaz. Seems like every school has an arsenal of names getting updated every year. And if a kid breaks in a school and no one around chooses to hear, do they make a sound? Or they just background noise from a soundtrack stuck on repeat when people say things like kids can be cruel? Every school was a big top circus tent, and the pecking order went from acrobats to lion tamers, from clowns to carnies. All of these miles ahead of who we were freaks. Lobster claw boys and bearded ladies. Oddities juggling depression and loneliness, playing solitaire, spinning the bottle, trying to kiss the wounded parts of ourselves and heal. But at night, while the others slept, we kept walking the tightrope. It was practice, and yes, some of us fell. But I want to tell them that all of this is just debris left over when we finally decide to smash all the things we thought we used to be. And if you can't see anything beautiful about yourself, get a better mirror. Look a little closer. Stare a little longer. Because there's something inside you that made you keep trying despite everyone who told you to quit. You built a cast around your broken heart and signed it yourself. You signed it. They were raw. Because maybe you didn't belong to a group or a clique. Maybe they decided to pick you last for basketball or everything. Maybe you used to bring bruises and broken teeth to show and tell but never told. Because how can you hold your ground if everyone around you wants to bury you beneath it? You have to believe that they were raw. They have to be wrong. Why else would we still be here? We grew up learning to cheer on the underdog because we see ourselves in them. We stem from a root planted in the belief that we are not what we were called. We are not abandoned cars stalled out and sitting empty on some highway. And if in some way we are, don't worry. We only got out to walk and get gas. We are graduating members from the class of we made it. Not the faded echoes of voices crying out names will never hurt me. Of course, they did. But our lives will only ever always continue to be a balancing act that has less to do with pain
And more to do with
and more to do with beauty.
God. Fuck, this was too emotional here.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. I had to show you this. I wanted to show you this because no matter what day, what age, what culture, what place, which area, what precedent you are in, you are going to feel depression.
Yeah.
Every person does that. Every person has a phase where he feels low. And this made me feel, no matter how long the journey is.
I'm not saying that I completely feel what he's saying,
I
to some
agree.
extent, especially the kind of incidents that he's talking about, the things that he experienced while he was in school.
Yes.
Everybody has gone through some sort of a sad or a traumatic experience. Someone who's going through depression, the kind of helplessness that one faces, the kind of isolation that one is going through, the kind of this feeling of being of dissolving within that one is experiencing. How to get out of those feelings, in this video, I think what this guy is actually telling is what you're going through when you're in depression. But how to get out of it, this is another video probably. This has to be another video. There are no solutions to it. You have to take many steps. You have to break away from that addiction of the pills that you're hooked to, the antidepressants. You have to start, putting in the effort to cheer your own self. To you know what that means, to put in the effort to make yourself a happy person. It's a very difficult thing.
That's a difficult thing, but that's what I did actually. I started taking in efforts for myself. I started enjoying my own company. I started taking out myself for dinner. That's why you see I'm single, okay? But that's how I got out of depression. Secondly, I got out of depression because I started meeting a lot of people. Because what happens when you're in depression is you isolate yourself. You tend to stop talking to everybody, and that I think
feel like talking to
you don't
basically
feel.
lose your will to live life, no? How to get out of that feeling that once you have lost
That's why I'm saying you need to start talking.
just talking.
It doesn't matter what you're talking.
At least the first step.
That's the first step. It doesn't matter what you're talking. It doesn't need to make sense. 2 + 2 = 5. Nobody cares. But talk. Because in isolation, you're the randomest person. There is this saying, idle mind is devil's workshop. When you're in isolation, you're idle, you're thinking. That is the devil's workshop. Don't let devil enter that. Because once you're going to that dark side, I don't think you'll ever be the same again. Ever.
Yeah.
I have been through it, you have been through it, maybe somebody else here is going through it. And that's why I'm saying talk, because that helps. That helps.
If you talk about depression, most of the people, you know what they're going to say?
Yeah, I know. Kya depressed feel kar raha hai?
Just get over it. Start being happy.
Nahin,
Start being happy, smile, get over it. That's the only advice that you're going to get from most of the people.
They become SRKs. Kya pata kal ho na ho, jiyo haso, khush raho. That's not how it works.
आसान होता तो बहुत पहले ठीक हो जाते हैं यार.
It's everything is not a SRK and Karan Johar movie.
# he won't get work in YRF anymore.
Karan Johar is not Yashraj Films.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Boom, bitch, get out the way.
Too soon. The narrator has so much feeling basically, and how he stresses on those really important points.
Words.
Eventually, in the end, giving that the whole gist of the video is what was that last line?
It's less to do with pain and it's more to do with beauty.
Yeah,
So
it's such a beautiful line, and the way he sums it up.
The
The thing is, that the narrator himself has gone through these emotions. That's why he's saying it with such a feel.
Yeah.
And the solutions, there are many solutions to the problem.
All the solutions, none of them are foolproof.
Sometimes you need the pill, sometimes you need some motivation, sometimes you need to put in the effort yourself, drag yourself out of the bed, because that's basically.
But
that's
I
what
think
happens in depression. You just lying.
Drag
in the bed,
yourself.
Just lying in the bed.
No.
Staring at the wall for. Hours
Rather,
and
I'll
hours
say,
and hours.
depression is dragging yourself to do things.
Yeah, in a way. I want that people who are watching this video to have a discussion in the comment section about this. What depression is, what kind of depression that you are going through, what kind of sad feelings basically. That
What
you are
has
going
helped
through,
you?
and what has helped you basically. Yeah.
And please, if you think that anybody is facing depression and you know that person, please talk to them.
Yeah. It's not about this video in particular. We just want you to be aware of this problem.
This is going to happen. You are a person. You will face it. You have to come out of it.
If Robin Williams has gone through it, then anybody can go through it. Robin Williams, I still cannot understand the reason for his death. Suicide, basically.
I think that really
with
happens
time.
when
Yeah.
you stop having further goals.
But once the goal is over, you're back to square one. With your feelings, with your emotions.
You're
with
back
this
to
problem.
square one.
So you have to solve the problem, you have to resolve it. And setting up a goal and working towards it can, for a time being, help you focus on something else. But the real issue is within. And that needs to be resolved. And for that,
You need acceptance. Basically, for that, you need acceptance.
Self-acceptance.
Self-acceptance.
Your people's acceptance.
Self.
Yeah, but I don't think.
I'll tell you.
Of myself.
I'll tell you what. The thing is, the reason people feel depressed is because they feel like shit. Then they start thinking about all the proofs in their life that show them that they're shit. They're even worse now. Instead, stop talking or thinking about those people. Start surrounding yourself with people whose approach in life is like positive. Because if surrounding matters to you so much, I think you should change your surrounding then.
It's a very naive way of talking about depression. घर से बाहर जाइए, खुली हवा में सांस लीजिए, ऐसे लोगों से घिरिए अपने आप को who are positive and who make you feel positive about yourself. I'm sorry.
I understand. No, I get you. But the message is not that. I'm talking philosophically.
Exactly. I can get the gist of it.
Point of this video is, if you really think you have an answer, please let us know. Because even we are people, we don't know the answer. We are as confused as you all are.
Nobody has a definite answer. Otherwise, this problem wouldn't have existed.
Yeah. I am not giving the outro link only.
You just, like you stay with positive people and you're going to be positive. Okay.
That's my approach.
That's why you surrounded yourself with Kanav. Okay. Because you need positive energy.
Yeah, that's why I'm surrounding you when you are down right now.
Bro, that's not the right way of saying it. Now it feels... no pun intended.
Karma. But anyway, guys, this is Kanav. This is Harsshh. You're watching Joy Show. And I don't know about sharing and subscribing right now. But we would like if you have a discussion.
Just share the video.
Discussion.
Share the video that we are showing you. That video is
this
actually
video
more powerful.
To this day project by Shane.
Bye.